So many people go to intensives with one thought. It's just like, how do I survive this?
In today's video, I'm going to be giving you all the advice and tips and tricks on how to survive a summer intensive.
I'm your big sis today, and I'm going to be telling you everything you need to know about surviving summer intensives. And actually, not only surviving, but thriving. Guys, I'm going to give you all the tips and tricks you guys ever wanted to know about going to a summer intensive, what to do at a summer intensive, and just basically just some like simple general tips on like what's actually important to focus on at a summer intensive. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the tips. Yeah, okay. I'm so awkward. I have a personality and I love to let it shine on camera. Your most important focus when going to these intensives is like to first set down a routine, because all else will fall into line once you have a routine. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've been to a summer intensive and like here's a little story time. I was in New York City going to my summer intensive class, and my mom told me to pack my bag the night before, so this was part of my night routine, and I just didn't listen. I don't know what the deal was. I think I meant to pack my bag and I did, but I forgot to put my lanyard in the bag. Usually when you go to summer intensives, they give you lanyards or cards just to be able to like keep track. I don't know. And it's really important to pack your bag the night before you wake up so that the next day you can just grab it and go. Time is very limited at a summer intensive, and that is a very important fact to remember. Your time is not your own. You have to kind of work around the schedule the intensive provides, and having routines will help you do this efficiently and effectively. I was in New York City and we were halfway to the summer intensive. Like, we were taking subway and everything, and I realized I didn't have my lanyard, and I wouldn't be able to go inside the studio if I didn't have my lanyard, so I had to go back home to like the hotel room that's my home, and then I had to retake the subway. Like, it was so much work. Like, I woke up at 6 in the morning and ended up getting to my class. I would think I was still on time, but I could have been late. I've learned from experience that you need to have a routine and set, because without routines, like, you have to use more brain power too. My mom always says that, like, you want to use your brain space for the things that really matter at intensive, like choreography, remembering corrections. You want to make time for the things that really matter at intensives, and routines will really help you do this. Honestly, these routines that you have at summer intensives should be a reflection of the routines that you already have and set at home. So like, for instance, I have a morning routine that I finally got pat down. It includes like some cross training, eating breakfast, making my bed. It's very, very simple. Sometimes it's more complex, sometimes it's a little bit more simple, but I do have a basis. Eliminating stress is the key factor to like achieving at a summer intensive. You really just want to eliminate stress, and part of that is having a good key set routine. So if you don't do anything in this video, do that. I gave you the best tip first, so hand claps to me. A body that is overworked can lead to injury, and that is the last thing you want to worry about at summer intensive. Guys, it's the last thing. I have it all bandaged up right now.
can't like point all the way. I don't know why.
Depending on your body type, you may need to roll out longer than others. You may need to stretch more. Like for me, I definitely need to stretch and roll out more than like my other classmates. So it's important to figure out what exercises and rest techniques are beneficial to you and spend a good amount of time doing them. See, my excuse at summer intensive is like, oh yeah, I'm gonna stretch, I'm gonna roll out. And I say I'm gonna do these things and I actually do them. Like I make sure that I do my classes and then I roll out, but I only roll out for 5 minutes. Technically I rolled out, but I didn't roll out for a good amount of time. You have to make sure that you're spending quality time taking care of your body. Ballet can make or break you, I mean, honestly. And I feel like this is something that just wasn't really stressed enough to me. I struggle with tight muscles. Actually, strike that and reverse it.
Strike that, reverse it.
This was very, very stressed to me. My parents told me to stretch and told me to roll out, make sure I was taking good care of my body. And like I would listen to them, but you know, like sometimes as teenagers or tweens or whatever, you just don't listen to your parents. Like, come on y'all, listen to your parents. They'll always have the best advice. I call them Charlie horses. I got so many cramps like in my legs just I'm not rolling out. Like there were so many moments at the intensive where like I couldn't move like after I'd gotten home from classes because I wasn't continuously rolling out. I wasn't taking Epsom salt baths. I wasn't like doing enough outside of the studio to care for my body. And it is a lot. It feels like at an intensive all you're doing is focusing on your body, but that's the reason you're at the intensive. You're at the intensive to get better at your craft. This leads me into my third tip, which is to set your priorities and also set boundaries. Guys, part of setting priorities is setting boundaries. And whenever you go away from home, whether that's ballet camp, college, anything, high school, to school, I don't know, just hang out with people in general, you're gonna have to learn to like set boundaries and respect other people's boundaries. Say, yeah, a friend really wants to play a card game with you one evening, but you need to get to bed early. You can tell your friend, hey, I'd love to play card games with you, but now is just, it's not the best time. Can we play Saturday evening instead? It's okay to reschedule or say no to certain activities altogether. Setting boundaries is not being selfish. It's actually taking responsibility for your actions. Don't let activities dictate your schedule. Plan your schedule around the activities. You are the boss over your decisions. You make the choices. Like, it's your choice whether to stay up till 12 a.m. or go to sleep at 9 p.m. You know, like it is completely up to you to decide what you are going to do when you are away from home, when you don't have like extra people over your shoulder telling you what to do. It is like there are so many decisions that you have to make at a summer intensive that you don't have to make at home. It's a very good thing because it helps you learn how to be responsible. I feel like the main thing I have learned at summer intensives is how to be responsible. It is a lesson I've learned. Like, I don't know how else I would have learned how to be responsible if I hadn't been away at summer intensives. And sometimes, like, summer intensives I can't talk. Summer intensives aren't the only way to gain responsibility, but there's something about being away from home that kind of just makes you go, whoa. Especially being a homeschooler, this has just been something that's very new for me. I don't know, I guess just making decisions without my parents around, and I find it very freeing, actually. I think it's weird. I'm not saying that I like being away from home from my parents for that long. It is very hard, and I do miss my family very much, but it also teaches me and builds my confidence so that I know that, like, when I am older, when I do actually have to move away from home, I know that I can do it. It's like these 5 weeks give me an experience of what my actual career will be like, and that is something that I just really want to point out. Like, summer intensives are a great way to introduce ballet careers. It's very worth it to go to an intensive if you are pursuing ballet as a career. If you're just doing ballet as a hobby, honestly, ballet intensives, I don't see how they're very beneficial. I mean, it is important to move your body throughout the summer, prepare your body for classes throughout the year. I feel like intensives are only, like, it's only worth the money if ballet is going to be your career. Y'all can't expect to be in a summer intensive running on 2 hours of sleep. I don't know how many people I know who be staying up till like 12 a.m. or 1 or what.
It's pretty late, I'm not gonna lie. To start off the night, I should not be going to bed at this hour. I have no excuses. I was doing some chores really late, cleaning my room, washing my hair. But now I'm gonna go to sleep and I'm gonna get 8 hours. So that's still pretty decent, but I feel like for a dancer, it's important to at least get 10 hours, maybe like 11, just because the intensity that you put your body under during an intensive is like a lot. So I would highly recommend getting 10 to 11 hours of sleep each night. Don't make the same mistake. I am going to do better tomorrow night, I promise. But to start the night, I'm a little nervous and weirded out because my roommate is not here. This is her side of the room. This is my side of the room. Curfew is at 11 p.m. and it's 11:42. This happened to me last year at another intensive. My roommate snuck out and slept in someone else's room at night. So I just hope this isn't gonna be the same thing. I've had some times at intensive, but you know, I'm just giving you guys the reality of it.
Like, what? Your body needs sleep. Your body needs sleep. You can't expect to do a full day of classes with no sleep. And better yet, no eating. Oh my gosh, y'all, I am speaking to those dancers who think that like not eating is healthy. Like, who said not eating is healthy? I mean, I know there are reasons, and sometimes it's like dealing with body image, and I understand you. I'm a girl too, okay? Your girl struggles sometimes with feeling wanted and accepted and feeling like they eat too much. I definitely feel like I eat too much, but it's just important to remember that your body does need fuel. I would just highly recommend at intensives that you're making sure that you're getting food at least every 3 to 4 hours, maybe even every 2 hours, because you are losing a lot of energy, and it is just so important to make sure that you're eating, sleeping, and drinking well, which leads me into my next tip. I think I remember I was at one intensive and I was taking pills because my head was hurting. I just got back into my room for dinner. I have 5 minutes before I need to come to the icebreaker. I'm actually about to take ibuprofen because I haven't been drinking enough water. There's cotton in here. This tablet is interesting. Stick it on my tongue and swallow. Okay, I did it. It was hurting so bad. I vlogged my whole experience at CPYB, and there were just like so many mistakes that I made. Like, looking back on those videos, I'm like, why wasn't I drinking water? Like, I've had bloody noses because of not drinking enough water. You're dancing, like the dancing plus the heat and no water, that just doesn't make a good combination. Like, those ingredients just don't go well together. Do you actually speak positively to yourself? Especially as an athlete, as a ballet dancer, guys, you don't need to be body shaming yourself. It's enough to already have the corrections of the teacher, but if you're in the studio, especially away from home without like people you love around you, the negativity is going to sink in and affect your mental health. Your mental health is just as important, if not more important, than your physical health, especially when you're away from home. Mental health nowadays is just such a big issue. Negative self-talk brings your confidence down, and if your confidence comes down, then your dancing comes down. Like the way you dance and the way you're feeling on the inside always portrays to your audience on the outside. And when you're at these intensives, sometimes it's easy to just be focused all in on the class, all in on trying to perfect everything so much so that you get compliments from the teacher and the classmates. It's easy away from home to seek validation from others. Seeking validation is only going to tear yourself down, and is very important to make sure that you are speaking life over yourself. Life and death is in the power of our tongues. There is a Bible verse on this, and it is just kind of like, Bible verses have power, and they have so much more meaning than like an affirmation. For instance, I have this here. It says, I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. Philippians 4:13. Oh my gosh, this is a Bible verse that helps me so much. When I'm in that class and my point shoes are dying and my feet are cramping, I say, Lord, I can do all things through you who give me strength. And I'm like, wow, I'm not doing this by myself, because for some reason when you're away from home you can just feel like the whole world is crashing down on you. I've had multiple breakdowns at summer intensives due to stress.
God has a plan, and I'm trusting him right now through this. I believe that, you know, God is the ultimate creator, and that he has a plan for everything, even if it's not always good in the moment. In the long run, God oversees. God is in control over like every situation in your life. So I'm trusting that he's over this situation as well. He has never let me down, and I'm going into the situation with trust and faith that he's got my back, because without that,
and I wish someone would have told me to quote Bible verses, to quote positive, not just positive affirmations, like Bible verses over myself, to speak life to myself, because there's so many times where I'm just like get caught up in this tornado of my feelings and emotions and jealousy towards other people, and it tears my dancing down. Like I can see the effect it has in the classroom and outside of the classroom. It's the simple things that make the big difference in life. Making sure that you're getting enough food, making sure that you're getting enough sleep, make sure that you're setting routines, and most importantly, making sure that you are speaking to your body and loving your body on the inside as well as the outside. That is so important. Your body is your tool and your instrument as a ballet dancer, and it is so important that you are making time, quality time, to focus on your body. A summer intensive, I always like to make sure that I take like a sheet of paper or something and write down what I'm gonna focus on at the intensive. So like whether that's like making sure that you're working on your artistry, sharper tendus, something like that. Just really pick a main focus to go into your summer intensive with. And then last but not least, make sure that you guys are living in the moment. Guys, enjoy your summer intensive. I don't know if this video was helpful or not, but it's not any fun if you take all of these tips and then come back from the intensive feeling empty. The most important thing at a summer intensive is to come back with a renewed passion to dance. When you come back from an intensive and you just have this like overjoyed feeling like, oh my gosh, I love to dance, I'm so excited to keep dancing, the intensive was worth it. It's your habits and what you do at the intensive that makes the whole experience. If you guys want to see like my intensive journey and just some like ballet content, like, just hit the subscribe bell because I got you covered. Bye guys. Mwah!
Bye.